quickly, and he is there. Hoodie Mello in OKC. It's interesting. He's talking about OKC and his choice.
It happened so fast, so quickly. You know, where I had to make a quick decision. But believe it or not, Oklahoma City was a team that that me and my team talked about. We discussed it, and if the opportunity presented itself, whereas though we can kind of bring a deal to the to the Knicks organization, is something that both parties feel comfortable with. This was a team, this was an organization, this was a city that I had no problem coming and being a part of.
Carmelo, how much did Russell and Paul play a part in that, just in terms of convincing you to be here and wanting to play with you?
Russ don't really do the convincing. He came to New York, played pickup at my gym. I saw him in Paris at Fashion Week. Me and Russ became closer and closer over the years, and he was a big part. He was a big reason why I wanted to come here. To see his loyalty to the city, to this organization, what he was able to do, on the court. I wanted to be a part of that. Adding PG was just another reason why I wanted to come here. Our relationship, our friendship, but our respect for one another as basketball players was a reason that I wanted to play alongside him and have an opportunity to compete for a championship and kind of just bring, some more energy. Not like this city needs any more energy, but it's a different energy, a different focus, a different motivation that myself have, Paul has, and Russ has. Being that we haven't won a championship yet in our career, and we see that, and that's our ultimate goal.
Mel, you posted on your website kind of like a love letter to New York, saying goodbye to everybody. When you look back, and I guess, how will you reflect on your time with the Knicks, and how do you think, or how do you hope fans will remember your legacy there?
Well, I think you have to ask those fans. I think for every fan, they would give you a different answer to that. But I thought I became a product of my environment as far as adjusting to what I had to adjust to from a basketball standpoint. Win, lose, or draw. I was there every night. I came in, competed every night. I stayed professional throughout, all the ups and downs of, that comes in New York. There was a lot of noise, so I had to find some type of, quietness and, find some me time to try to figure this all out. But I don't think the fans will have anything I had to say, because I think they understand. They're very educated. They understand what it's like playing in New York, and for me, I feel like I've embraced all of those challenges, playing in New York. And off the court, I was very engaged with the community, engaged with the youth, family, friends. I will always feel like I'm a major part of that city, so that's not going anywhere. And I just want those fans to understand that this was a decision. This was a career decision, and it happens. It's sports. There's times in sports where everybody got to go their separate ways, and there's no hard feelings. There's no bad blood between myself and that organization or anybody over there. But I'm here now, and I would like to close that chapter and begin this new chapter.
The common thing when you bring three guys that have been lead dogs on their teams, can they mesh? Do you see that as a problem? And then two, you got a short preseason, which I think everybody likes, players and fans alike, but that's a shorter time to work together. Do you see that being an issue?
I don't see. The only issue I probably would say that we're going to face is the chemistry early. Getting to know one another. Not trying to make it all happen all in one night, all in one game, and understand that this is a process. This is a marathon, and it's going to take a little bit of time to for us to gel. Not just us three, but the whole team to get a chance to know one another. But at the end of the day, it's basketball, and I'm not. I didn't want to come here to try to outshine Paul or Russ or and vice versa. You know, we're trying to win basketball games, and by any means necessary, we're going to do that. And I'm going to bring, you know, my skill set, you know, here to this team, here to this organization, and you know, that's what I'm here for. And I've always been kind of a product of my environment and being able to just be a chameleon in the sense of just blending into my situation and making that situation work, whatever it calls for, whether I was with the New York Knicks, whether I was on the USA team, and even here in Oklahoma.
Carmelo, you've carried an awful lot of the scoring load on your teams throughout the years. Just what does it mean to you to look at the roster, look at these guys, and recognize that you don't necessarily have to do that anymore?
Yeah, it's a difference, though, because I don't want to take the load on of have to do it and score and 30, 40, 50 points every night. But, I mean, I score. That's, you know, that's what I do. I can't take that away from me. I think being that I do that very well, I think this team needs that, you know, along with, you know, some other things. So I didn't come here to just be a rebounder, or, you know, I came here to bring my skill set to this team and, you know, and fit into kind of what's the plan. I haven't sat yet to see kind of, you know, how we're going to play, what we're going to do, and schemes and things like that. But for the most part, I just want to be able to do what I do best within the confines of, you know, the system and what Coach won, and being able to work alongside Russ and PG.
Carmelo, you only get one chance to make a first impression, they say. What was your first impression? The fans meeting you at the airport? Your first impression of Oklahoma City?
Unbelievable. Like, unbelievable. You know, to go from a situation where it was just so, you know, it was an emotional roller coaster for me, you know, being back in New York. At times it was very strenuous on myself, on my family. You know, my family is actually, you know, still there back in New York. So I just want to take my hat off to them for being able to stick it out with me and deal with that and deal with me after, you know, the long nights and the lonely nights. But to come here on the flip side of that and just feel that passion and feel that energy, and anytime you feel wanted and appreciated, you know, that you can't even put those, you know, those feelings into words.
Carmelo, what's your history with Billy Donovan? How well do you know each other? And what are your thoughts on him as a coach?
I don't really, honestly, I really don't. I mean, I have no history with Coach. You know, so that's going to be another process that we have to get used to. But I respect him. Hall of Fame coach. I respect him. I know his, you know, I know his pedigree. I know what, you know, his resume. I know what he's about. Technically speaking, he's a young coach in, you know, in this league, still learning. But I'm all in with him. You know, whatever he needs from me, I'm there. You know, he can communicate with me. He can come talk to me. I can come talk to him. And I think that's the way that we're going to make this thing work. And you know, I'm letting him coach. I'll be the player, and you know, I respect that, and we go from there.
Melo, I had two questions actually. The first is, how do you feel about, you know, starting at the 4, or the concept of starting at the 4, or even coming off the bench? And the second question is,
Who, me?
Oh. I guess that answers that part.
I mean, I don't know where that started, where that came from. Hey, Pete, they said I got to come off the bench. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, well, how do you? I guess the bench question is not a question, but how do you feel about the potential of starting at the 4? And then on a lighter note, how do you feel about the phenomenon of Hoodie Melo?
The first part is to speak on playing the 4. I won't even call it the power forward position anymore in this day and game. It's a 4. You know, it's a number. You're out there on the basketball court. It's a position. I don't feel no type of way. I feel like, you know, there has been times where I've been my strongest at that position. And, you know, like I said earlier, I can adjust. You know, if you need me to play the 3, which is my natural position, I would do that. You need me to play the 4, which is, you know, I think I can actually be a lot better at the 4 with this team, then I'll do that. You know, and I'll be moving around, so I'll be moving around. But I have no problem with playing the 4, none at all. I actually like that. I actually embrace that. And I think for this team, it would be better for me to play the 4 and more beneficial to everybody. And the Hoodie Mello thing, you know, for me it was just actually it started with a beanie. Like I was just in the gym and I didn't have a haircut, and I'm just gonna go and throw a hat on. I wanted to sweat. I just started working back out in the summer, and then from there went to a hoodie, and it got out, and the phenomenon started. But for me, it was just about showing a different focus that I have, a different motivation, and just kind of just locking in to what I have to do, and locking myself into the gym, and locking myself into focusing in on my body, and because I didn't know what was going to happen. So it was just so much going on that was surrounding me that I just wanted to find a way that I can just focus in, and that's when Hoodie Mello was created.
Carmelo, can you tell us where Dwayne Wade will be playing this year?
Where is he? I have no idea, to be honest with you. I would love to have him here in Oklahoma City, but am I allowed to say that? Is that tampering? Oh, he's free now? Come on, D. You know you belong at. Come on. That's all I'm gonna say.
All right, Carmelo. With the lack of media coverage on Puerto Rico after the hurricane,
that's the most important question of the day.
And with you being one of the few players in the league with familial ties to the island, can you tell me what you're doing maybe to help the recovery efforts, and maybe what your new fan base can do to help you out with that?
Yeah, well, I've started kind of like a You Caring page, a link, and just kind of trying to raise the funds to, to kind of bring Puerto Rico back and help Puerto Rico by any means necessary. I'm committed to, to my island to help everything, and, I'm talking to the government officials down there. I'm talking to all these organizations of just trying to figure everything out. I don't want to just do something just to do it. I want it to be meaningful. I want the people to, feel impacted by what I'm trying to do, what I'm trying to create. So it's just so much that's just going on right now down there on the island that it's hard, to say I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that. It's not until we really figure out exactly what's going on, exactly, what we're going to do. But I'm committed, and I call on everybody, any and everybody, to not overlook, Puerto Rico, because there's so many things that's going on in the world today, in our country today. And at the end of the day, Puerto Rico is a part of, the United States, so we cannot overlook, that island. So, I challenge the powers that be, the President of the United States,